Going for an Indian. I wonder what my grandma would think they were eating. I wonder what she would think when she saw me hide in the corner of the classroom, with the red and blue plastic seats stinging the backside of my body. What would she think when I threw it away, ashamed that my mother would not make me a white, breaded, crustless cheese sandwich, afraid of the smell polluting the air, because there nobody calls my food curry. I wish they'd ask where it came from, and if they ever did, I'd say, this dal is from my grandmother's palms. I'd say it's from the time she was told, you're a woman now. From the beating of her knuckles on the flour, from the cramps of her knees, squatting on the floor. This dal is from the unpaid labour of my grandmother, I'd say.
Okay, like Wembley and stuff?
Not Wembley, like house.
No,
And then full.
Spending every night and every day wrapped in a petticoat, a blouse, a sari. I could never understand how her movements were so agile. Her feet, almost invisible, she floats on the ground as she works. I wonder if she knows of the modesty imposed on her, her petticoats enforced, her blouseless friends banned. What would people think of this sari now? What does it mean when I wear the sari that my grandmother once wore? Do I float too? Will people look up at the sky and see me amongst the birds? I float high above until I reach the children who were stolen from us, the children that Churchill sacrificed. But even whilst parading around the poppies that our children sowed, they remain lost and forgotten.
Churchill was not alone. His decisions reflect a broader context of British brutality against Indian people. These attitudes prevail today, but in a different form, not through imperialistic greed, but instead through silence of the media, of the government, and of the people.
Now I sit on the dining table in the home I grew up in, the house which had no fence between us and the neighbours, so we could roam freely as one family in two dwellings. I sit next to my father, who came to this country in 1996 with his recipes from his mother bound to his heart. When I share these recipes around my neighbourhood, I act in defiance. We bring our true selves to life with this act. We are not hiding and adapting anymore. We are not worried about the smell of curry that wafts from the house as we cook. The smell of curry stuck to the lapels of my sari as I deliver it, the smell of curry as you eat it. We do not care if you think we smell. And thus slowly we march on, never letting these small successes slip past us, catching them before they fall onto the streets of our house, on our land, for somebody else to pick up, for someone else to distort.
Connected us successfully.
Yesterday. मस्त कलंदर मस्त मस्त दम मस्त कलंदर मस्त दम मस्त कलंदर मस्त मस्त दम मस्त कलंदर मस्त मेरा विरद है दम दम अली अली मेरा विरद है दम दम अली अली सखी लाल कलंदर मस्त मस्त सखी लाल कलंदर मस्त मस्त झूले लाल कलंदर मस्त मस्त दम मस्त कलंदर मस्त मस्त दम मस्त कलंदर मस्त मेरा विरद है दम दम अली
Within a Britain sharply divided about the extent of racism and its forms of expression, South Asian cuisine's familiarity and popularity continue to generate narratives proclaiming tolerance at the same time that they inflect and structure racist outbursts. Once marginalised within British culture, curry became a primary vehicle for denying, masking and articulating racism, demonstrating the mutually constitutive nature of intolerance and multicultural celebration.
सखी लाल